Hey everybody, it is Mr. Bird, and I'm going to go over our last assignment for the week, okay? It is your interactive notebook. This is where you're going to take your notes and have your stuff to study for your 6 weeks tests, okay? I have two versions here, okay? One is in English, the other has lots of Spanish translation in it for those of you who need it, okay? When you're done with this, you might want to let me know which one was easier for you to use. If you take a look at both of them, I will be glad to continue to assign these individually to you instead of having both of them here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, of course, is open the slides file. Okay, and I made it look as much like an interactive notebook as possible because I figured that would be easier for you guys. You'll enter your name here. Okay. Now, over here on this side, I actually have links so you can get to places in the notebook. For starters, there's the objectives page. Show you what all you need to make sure you're understanding. Okay. Next thing is vocabulary, key vocabulary you'll need to learn. There's 3 pages of it this time. Okay. And they're all defined from content. Okay. So you don't have to go anywhere but the notebook to get this part done. Okay. And the content is right here. What does an historian do? And it goes through here. The vocabulary words are highlighted for your reference, okay? And the definitions are within the text, so you can read through it and then put your answers into here. All right, I think I've left you enough space for everything. It shouldn't be too hard. All right, now the last thing you got to do is make sure you take the right notes. Now it's covered over by my video, but you can click on it and go down to notes. Notes start right here this week in slide 8. Excuse me. Okay, so you make sure you review this video before you get started. Okay, so we're going to go over each of the terms in the vocabulary this week. Okay, primary versus secondary sources. This has got one of these is primary, one of these is secondary. Read them, figure it out, and label them. Okay, this next one right here, you're going to watch this video about Kamala Harris, our current vice presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, and answer these questions regarding sourcing. So it's the who, what, where, when, how, and why. Okay. The next thing we have is contextualization, or contextualizing things. How did the when and where influence the author? Okay. This is a link to a radio broadcast of a speech that President Johnson made when he signed the Civil Rights Act into law. And it's interesting what he says, and I find it to be pretty fascinating. And once you listen to it, you'll be answering this question over here. What about the when and the where do you think influenced President Johnson to give this speech as he signed the bill into law? Okay? Sentence answers, people. Sentence answers. The next thing we have is corroborate. Accuracy, validity, and perspective. Now, these are 2 different perspectives on the colonization of America. Read them. So the question is, okay, are either of these readings accurate and valid? They could both be accurate and valid. Only one of them could be accurate and valid, and neither of them could be accurate and valid. And so you could tell me what you think and give me an answer. All right. Again, I'm soliciting what you think about it. So there's no quote unquote wrong answer here. The only wrong answer is to not answer the question. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the next section here. This piece is about what's called the lost cause. The lost cause is a idea that the Civil War was a lost cause for the Confederates and how they worked to keep the idea alive. Okay, now this is a video submission, so you're going to watch the video and then you're going to click right here. Okay. And click here. And it's going to take you to this screen. I'll wait for it to populate. Hopefully. Here we go. So, week 1, historian's point of view. All right. You're going to click this and you're going to record me about 2 to 3 minutes of information of what you think about this particular piece. Okay. Don't worry, I am not putting this out anywhere on the internet. The only person that's going to see this is me. I can show it to Ms. Gonzalez if she requests it. Of course, your parents can look at it, but this is completely closed loop. The only person that can access these files on the internet is me, and they're kept tight behind a firewall that is compliant with keeping your privacy, okay? I will expect to see your face in your video, and I want to hear your answer. So go ahead and do that for me. Of course, the question here, okay, is reflect on your point of view about the lost cause narrative or work to correct its propaganda. Go to the secure link and record a 2 to 3 video of what you think about the point of view presented in the video, okay? The next one here is a little bit of reading on frame of reference to give you a little bit more information. Here, we're going to look at the frame of reference of these two characters in this cartoon, and in 2 to 3 sentences, answer how does their frame of reference affect their approach to the COVID-19 pandemic, all right? The next thing we're going to do is take a look at the circumstances of time. We're going to review the timeline for terminology used to describe Black, Hispanic, and white people in the United States over time. You're going to have to think about these changes over time and answer these 3 questions at the bottom here. All right? Also note, this is a high-level timeline. Okay? Now, this is the place where you're going to answer the questions, and I put the 3 questions again down here. So just put your answers in there. Again, complete sentences. They must be incomplete sentences to get credit. Okay. So that is your interactive notebook for this week. Make sure you get it taken care of. You will have a copy in your folder, of course, so that you can make sure that you can study it for the 6 weeks test. Thank you very much, guys.